Welcome to The Future is Latinx. The Future is Latinx brings together 16 exceptionally talented and critically engaged artists, ranging from emerging to internationally renowned, who address issues of systemic inequality, race, criminalization of immigration, and the disproportionate impact of the global pandemic on Latinx and other BIPOC populations. They come from across North America and represent a diversity of genders, racial backgrounds, and personal identifications. They also make our hearts sing. The Future is Latinx is inspired by bilingual prolific author Luis Alberto Urrea, whose book Into the Beautiful North serves as a campus-wide reading program supported by the NEA Big Read Grant 2020. Urrea describes Latina OX as a practice of code switching between street culture, Spanish, Spanglish, scholarly culture, poverty culture, Catholicism, shamanism, progressive politics, literacy, and sharp enough to turn unexpectedly and slice. This is the future our exhibition anticipates, a future in which by 2045, Latinx will constitute more than 25% of an American population that has become minority white. Ramiro Gomez opens our exhibition. Two men loading the laundry at the Jane Hotel depicts two workers who shovel laundry on the back of the Jane Hotel in Chelsea. It is a nighttime. We cannot see their faces. Gomez creates faceless and self-effacing workers almost to the point of invisibility. These figures are made of cardboard to highlight their disposability as the stuff they were required to dispose of. Gomez, who is based in LA, became known for his appropriations of paintings by David Hockney's iconic LA swimming pools and villas. However, if Hockney's homes are deserted, Gomez paints invisible workers into wealthy homes and gardens. The figures are simple, without facial features. The tools of their trade, mops, rags, laundry baskets, and lawnmower mowers, are painted into the scene with them. Like Hockney, Gomez works in acrylic paint, which lends itself to flat, bright colors. Despite the flat paint, Gomez's inclusion of the workers adds depth to the images. The artist says a hard thing in a simple way. Our next work is Glendaliz Medina, by Glendaliz Medina, Mr. Puerto Rico and Mr. Bariquan, large-scale portraits of her parents. Medina uses Taíno symbols in celebration of her Afro-Caribbean heritage. The Taíno Indians are a subgroup of the Arawakan Indians who inhabited the Greater Antilles made up of Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, and Puerto Rico in the Caribbean Sea. The Taínos depicted a spiral symbol which represented cosmic energy and sweet water. Born in Puerto Rico and raised in the Bronx, Medina is an interdisciplinary artist. Her many awards include the Rome Prize in Visual Arts in 2013 and the Guggenheim Fellowship in 2020. Lionel Cruz, Floods, Aftermath, and Other Hurricane Stories is painted on blue tarp that depicts vernacular houses in a landscape. Cruz paints the atmosphere and the grounds as if in anticipation of hurricanes and heavy floods. His brushstrokes stimulate landslides or sinkholes. Cruz references the loss upon a natural disaster as well as a question: what is the future of climate and how a new landscape is being created as these events take place? Cruz is a visual artist and art educator born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Overall, Cruz uses digital media, printed materials, and audiovisual installation that confront geopolitical issues and economics that reflect his experience of Caribbean post-colonial subject, caught up in the dialogue with the rest of the world. Esteban Ramon Perez, this leather, expensive artwork, was born in LA and currently is artist in residence at New Haven, a residency founded by Titus Kapoor. Perez creates large leather tapestries that references the unique low-rider Chicano car cruising culture, social classes, and their histories. His DNA is an 8 by 12 foot red leather collage that follows the contours of the USA border with boxing gloves stitched into the surface and the scratched in silhouettes of cockfights representing an ever-present terrain of anger and violence. We are proud to premiere the video documentation of Border Turner 2019 by Rafael Lozana Hammer. His binational team of artists, curators, community leaders set into motion an enormous sound-like intercom system that connected people across the US-Mexico border. For 10 nights, thousands of people in the border sites of Juarez and El Paso activated Border Turner, manipulating its powerful searchlight beaming up into the night sky to create spectacular bridges of light controlled by the voices of the public. Dr. Robin Greeley, who contributes an essay to the exhibition catalog, calls Lozana Hammer a relational architect. The artist is based in Canada. Each of the interactive Border Turner stations features a microphone, a speaker, and a large wheel or dial. As a participant turns the dial, 3 nearby searchlights create an arc of light that follows the movement of the dial, automatically scanning the horizon. When two such arms of light meet in the sky and intersect, automatically a bidirectional channel of sound is opened between the people at the two remote stations. You can see it on your screen right now. As they speak and hear each other, the brightness of the light bridge modulates in sync. A glimmer similar to a Morse code scintillation. Every interactive station can tune one another So, for example, a participant in Mexico can connect to the 3 US-based stations or to another 2 in Mexico as they wish. Border Turner is not only designed to create new connections between the communities on both sides of the border, but to make visible the relationships that are already in place, magnifying existing relationship, conversations, and culture. Rafael Lozano Hammer was born in Mexico City in 1967. He immigrated to Canada in 1985 to study at the University of Victoria in British Columbia, and then at Concordia University in Montreal. Later he worked in a molecular recognition lab in Montreal and published his research in chemistry journals. He is known for presenting theatrical interactive installations in public spaces around the world by using robotics, real-time computers, graphics, LED screens, and other devices. His installations seek to interrupt the increasingly homogenized urban condition by providing critical platform for participation. In 2019, Lozano Hammer presented the Hirshhorn Museum largest interactive technology exhibition to date, titled Pulse. He filled the museum's second level with immersive environment that uses heart rate sensors to create kinetic and audiovisual experiences from visitors' own biometric data. I will let you listen the voices of real people participating in Border Turner.
Yo tengo a mi madre y a mi hermano allá años sin verlos. Por motivo de pasar acá no puede venir o por motivo de lo que estaba sucediendo. Ellos también por eso no vienen, por temor. Y nos comunicamos por teléfono de la única manera. Pero sé que están bien. Gracias a Dios. Extraño mucho la comida de Juárez, eso sí. Mi favorita ir al Cuauhtémoc, que es uno de mis lugares favoritos ir a comer.
Peruvian-born Dante Migon Ojeda creates site-specific installation Memorial Genetica that brings arrangements of chains, wood, and selected human hands under black lights to reveal the artist's creating challenge of being an immigrant in this country. Based in Brooklyn, Ojeda arrived to the gallery with a truck full of his sculptures. He spent the entire day in arranging his installation and lights, and departed at night. Chain takes many meanings for Ojeda. They are symbols of his immigrant identity. They stand for code switching, which is necessary to live the daily routine of translation and reconciliation that the artist experiences as a Latinx immigrant in US. Perhaps our first reaction to these chains as viewers, as being violent. The truth is that they function in so many ways. When they're imposed on us, they become links And when we choose to put them on ourselves as jewelry, they function as decorations and symbols of status. Their meaning is contingent on their context and their interpretation. Growing up Catholic and fascinated by ritual, Ojeda created Memoria Genetica, site-specific installation that transformed the viewer from the everyday into the realm of spiritual and sensual. Ojeda began to use black lights as a mean to convert the space into an enticing environment of desire, nature, and artifice. These chains contain multitudes, tenderness and violence, history and possibility. They provide a link between the gruesome past and the alternative future that this exhibition anticipates. The binational artist Tanya Aguinga pushes the power of art to transform the United States-Mexico border from a site of trauma to a creative space for personal healing and collective expression. Her video, Grapple, made in 2018, features the artist's durational embrace of the fence at Tijuana. The artist uses her shirt to grapple the fence physically, but also to signify both sides of her identity. My impotent and shaky grip attempts to take ownership of this physical and emotional space. Tanya Aguinga is a Los Angeles-based artist, designer, and activist. Her work provokes conversation surrounding gender and nationality, often drawing from her background as a Mexican-American woman and mother. Aguinga crafts furniture, textiles, wearable pieces, sculptures, and site-specific installations that incorporate a range of natural materials from beeswax to wool to human hair. Using the collaborative nature of craft, she promotes collective creation with communities, spearheading art-based advocacy projects, including the Border Art Workshop and Amboss, Art Made Between Opposite Sides, spanning the US-Mexico border, which seeks to document the emotions of commuters crossing in and gives voice to binational artists. Aguinga grew up in Tijuana, Mexico, crossing the border into San Diego to attend school. She completed her graduate studies at the Rhode Island School of Design. Both Border Turner and Grapple are included in the Art 21 Borderland series, available on the website of Art 21 for your review. Working in painting and textiles, Natalia Nakazava, a community-driven project exploring ideas of transnationality, cultural identities, storytelling, archives, and patterns of immigration. Nakazava pulls images from the online open access collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art with a focus on objects that embody historical moments of cultural exchange. These objects are then collaged into portraits and produced as large textiles Nakazawa's work encourages critical engagement with personal histories, utilizing the familiar, warm format of the tapestry as a means of creating objects that can be simultaneously confronting and disruptive. Natalia received her MFA in studio practice from California College of the Arts and BFA from the Rhode Island School of Design. David Antonio Cruz spent his youth protecting himself with an invisible shield, not to draw attention to himself in order to avoid being bullied or harassed. I spent so much of my early years trying to navigate that space silently, remembers Cruz, who found solace in art. It was the safest thing for me. It was just a way for me to create a place for myself. So much of my work now is a reaction to that, said Cruz of his younger years. Now his portraits portrays those who fell victims to violence targeted at homosexuals. Cruz would piece together their lives, collecting images and videos from social media, posting them on his studio wall. I wanted to become part of my consciousness. I want them to filter into my life in every possible way, he said. Most of Cruz's subjects are strangers to him. Cruz shrouds his memory in large, exquisite backgrounds, painting them as stars, divas, and models, giving his characters the allure, beauty, glamour, and pride that they should have celebrated in life. In doing so, Cruz preserves their legacy in a way that is traditionally reserved for the wealthy. Cruz created his paintings as a memorial to the black and brown trans migrants and asylum seekers escaping the violence in their home countries, who have become victims of rape, exploitation, and assault during their journey to the United States. Cruz teaches painting at Tufts University in Boston. I hope that you enjoyed taking it in and thinking with us about the future of our country through the eyes of these artists. Please be in touch and share your responses. I can be reached by email tikhonova@easternconnecticut.edu, and I'm going to spell it for you, TIKHONOVAY@easternct.edu, or by phone 860-465-4625. My name is Yulia Tikhonova, and I'm the curator of this exhibition. Thank you very much.